for Blumpkin&Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
You like that? You like that?
Hey kids, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and with me here today is my friend,
Chris.
That's Tennessee Chris. That's an old school throwback to my days at Menards. This man is from what city in Tennessee?
It's actually Savannah, Tennessee.
So where's that abouts?
Well, you know, you're familiar with Memphis, right?
No, but yes.
Well, it's on the far side, west side of Tennessee. And if you go about 100 miles east of that,
Yeah.
you'll run right into Savannah. It's on the borderline of Tennessee and Mississippi there.
Fantastic. So like I said, we worked together at Menards. He was out in the yard with Rick James and P2 and most of the other people I hung out with. I worked in hardware, as I've mentioned many times. We were teammates on a bowling team. I know, that's 10 years ago already.
That's sad.
We all called him by his nickname, 298.
And isn't that funny how that just stuck?
The nicknames stick like that.
But that one particular, we had a guy come in with 300, and it just wasn't working. 299, nope.
So what he's referencing is that's his highest single game bowling score ever.
Correct.
So your family are all prolific bowlers.
Ah.
I thought you said your brother and your dad have each had 300 games before.
Actually, my brother Bobby, he's the one. Him and his son actually now both have. My older brother Bobby has 9, and his son has. I think he's going on 13.
13 perfect games?
13 perfect games, and he's 19 years old.
Okay, so is he thinking like trying to get into it professionally?
I haven't talked with him quite that much to ask him. I've been wanting to because they've been going to Reno, and that's, you know, the little big town of pretty much bowling, biggest city ever.
Yeah.
So I would think they would because Bobby's averaging a 223, which is really good.
Yeah.
And they just got to get some sponsors and stuff. And his son he's averaging a 228.
Jesus.
Yep. And here I was thinking I was doing pretty good with a 212.
I could totally get that high of a score if I added 2 games together. Because if people that are listening know anything about bowling, I'm a straight bowler, which is pretty much how kids bowl. I just throw it right down the lane.
You like the bumpers?
Not that bad. But when we started out in our league, I had never bowled consistently, and I had a handicap of 99 pins.
99?
I was fucking terrible.
No, that's pretty good.
No, not at all. That's probably what you give a kid who's got like a crooked eye or something.
What was that? Yeah, that was on the league?
Yeah. That was my handicap, was 99 pins. So every game, I'm already almost at 100 right from the get-go.
You know what's sad is I get the benefit of the doubt of people that actually have the handicap and stuff. It just, what kills me is when you get those sandbaggers. Because what they'll do is they'll purposely, in the beginning, bowl bad, so they'll have that handicap.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout the league, they'll sit there and bowl better and better each time, just so they can have enough handicap to beat the team or grab a couple extra points, put them in first to win all the money.
Yeah, I wish that I was sneaky and good enough to pull that off, but I got better, but not much better.
Well, here's the catch. They're not really all that good. They were just good enough to bowl a little better.
So you obviously are a nice curve throwing bowler.
I am.
Which is why you have such a great score. And all the people that were in our league that were really good people tried giving me advice like stare at the head pin and just don't think about it when you release the ball. And then another time it was like, look at the arrows, just look at the center arrow and just aim for that. And that seemed to work.
And that was for the straight bowler advice, I guess.
Well, yeah, because there's no way I'm going to fucking throw I can't get that into it.
It's actually not as hard as you think it is.
You say that now, but then
I can say that
as
that's
I
all
try
I can say. I'd have to show you versus tell you. But then you got the ones that say you walk up like you're going to shake somebody's hand, then you pat yourself on the back as a finishing move. So you start out to come up. Mm-hmm. If anybody can see that, with me shaking somebody's hand and coming back, follow through. Hey, I did a good job.
That's a lot of thinking. I'm all about releasing from the knee. That's as into it as I got. Oh, when I first met this man, is when we were regularly hitting up Blainbrook and Bebop and Povs and stuff, and we'd all hang out after work. And he used to tell me some of these stories from back home. And that's why I had him on, because I wanted to tell some of those stories, because they always gave me a good chuckle. And then there's one night, and I highly doubt you're ever going to remember this. I just remember you getting drunk, and I don't know where we were. But
me?
Yeah, you were drunk, and I was driving your truck to bring you somewhere. So I was sober cabin in your own vehicle, and somebody was behind us. And you were on the phone with some chick back home in Tennessee.
Oh, gosh. And
the conversation devolved into, I love you, 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 I love you. You just kept saying it, waiting for her to say it back. That's a very weird, specific thing to hone in on. But I'm like, man, he is really into the sauce right now. But that's the same night that you told me the story about getting knocked out and waking up in your truck.
That must have been the black Ford Ranger.
I don't know. You just said I got knocked out once and I woke up in my own truck.
Yep, that wasn't a cool time. Yeah, I ended up staying up all night. And it was actually over in Fridley, I think 85th, I believe, because they had that little strip mall there. But no, we ended up staying up from hanging out with some girls and the guy. I was at his place.
Right on.
So I left, and of course I was wanting to go get me a can of shoe. I wasn't really familiar with what time it was at that moment. And I pulled in this parking lot. It was kind of like almost daylight. Of course, there was some guys walking around. There wasn't nobody there. Of course, I seen the place closed. Walked up, started kind of just talking, hey, how's it going? And asked me if I had a light. When I had mentioned them, I was like, well, I don't smoke. I'll tell you what, I got a cigarette lighter in the truck. I'm welcome to use it. So he's lighting up his cigarette, whatever. He's got his two boys there. Says, you got an accent? I was like, yeah. He goes, where are you from? I said, Tennessee. He said, where about? I said, Memphis. He said, oh, yeah, I got some boys from there. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he got to talking about something. Well, when I told him I lived in Savannah, he said, that seems like where a bunch of white boys would be from. And, you know, I'm like, well, there's a bunch of black boys there. And he goes, well, I'm not a boy. Or no, he said, I'm not a boy, son. I said, well, I'm not your son either.
Okay.
And that's how it started. And he started to back up or come towards me. And all I could think about was there's three of them. Well, I got to get something out of this. At least give me at least 1 or 2 points. So that's what I went after. I went after my points. So I ended up hitting him, knocked him down. Other guy came on the left side of me, grabbed me in a headlock. And I ended up coming up. If you can picture me getting down in like a 45-degree angle, coming up and elbowing this guy. And I woke up to a lovely floorboard seat of my truck, sitting down and looking at the floorboard.
So you don't know if they put you in there or you climbed in there when you were half out of it?
No idea. I'm just glad that my truck was okay.
Fair enough. That's friendly Fridley for you. 3-on-1.
There is the middle part.
So needless to say, these were 3 colored gentlemen.
They were.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes it's hard getting along with strangers.
Well, I have no problem with anybody, but evidently, I guess they had an issue with me.
No. Yeah, I find a lot of reverse racism at work. It takes me a little bit longer to break through to some of the black guys, but then they pretty much figure out I don't have any racist leanings, and I don't care what color you are.
Hey, boys and girls, it's time for another Hey, boys and girls, hey, boys and girls, hey, boys and 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 girls, it's time for another ITradio fucking fucker shitting ass tits beer.
I don't have balls, so it's okay.
You don't have balls?
Nope. My Speedo's just, they're like mannequins.
Okay.
Yeah.
You tuck it all back. And...
I put ice cubes in there first, so no one has to actually look there. I get very uncomfortable when I'm in a Speedo.
I put on my girlfriend's thong once. And it didn't work. I thought it was going to look funny/sexy, but my left ball kept falling out.
Did you stretch it out?
No.
All right.
So thinking back to your days in Tennessee and 10 years ago you moved up here. So how old were you when you moved up here?
I was almost 23. The story of that is my dad moved up here with my brother. He kind of followed right after. And then it was probably like 5 years later when they asked me if I wanted to come up here, and so that's when I came up by myself because I didn't have really a whole lot down there in that little town, Savannah. So I packed up and hightailed it up here. I got up here, didn't know what I was doing. I was over in, off of Osborne. I can't remember those apartments that I was staying at. River Point Apartments, that's what it was.
Yeah, it's kind of a ghetto part of town.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
So back home in Tennessee, before you guys all moved up here, what was the family doing? Because you were old enough to be out of high school. I can't remember if you said you're doing any college stuff. I can't remember what you said your old man used to do.
No, my dad, he drove truck. I stayed with my mom and my stepdad. I was planning on doing some type of schooling. It was either going to be with IT or, information technology or electronics. And then I was thinking about auto diesel college. But I was going to wait a little while. Of course, the whole situation with all that kind of just went south. And when you have a girlfriend and stuff for 5 years and you have this puppy love. And that's pretty much the main reason why I came up here.
Was to get away from her?
Yeah. But you got to think, them girls down there, I mean, they're tough, right? They're very tough, but they're also psycho.
See, I've only been to Florida. And I had a layover in Charlotte. And that's my extent of being in the South.
That's the only two places you've been?
I've been to, like, different parts of Florida. Like Kissimmee, Orlando, New Smyrna Beach. We never, went north enough to cross over into South Carolina. We never went anywhere up toward. I'd like to see Jacksonville. And now that I remember, I had surgery a few years ago. I had to have a hernia repaired. Mm-hmm. And I found some newfangled type of surgery that they do to fix that. They don't put the mesh inside you. So I flew down to Fort Myers to have surgery.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a surgery destination vacation. My old man and I went down there for like 4 days to Fort Myers.
Well, but that was interesting.
Yeah, the night before my surgery, I went for a jog. Like, I didn't know the area. So I'm just like, hey, I'm going for a jog. That's what I told him. He's like, okay. I didn't bring my phone with or nothing. I said, if you want to be here sometime in the next 2 hours, I'll be back. I ain't bringing my room key or nothing. So I just go jogging. Just me and a pair of shoes and some basketball shorts, jogging alongside one of the main thoroughfares and hooking a right and just going, I don't even know where, past this fucking beach. And then I ended up in the next city over. And then there were some people that drove by me that were not white that gave me some odd looks.
Oh, yeah, those love looks, yeah.
Which I wasn't going to say. I don't know. Maybe they just have angry-looking faces. Like, normally I'm just like, grumpy look. So I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Had anybody been like, hey, how's it going? I probably would have talked to them, but then I would have been real leery about getting thrown into a car and kidnapped.
Yeah, that probably would have run through my head a couple times.
Ended up as a corpse with a body stuffed full of baggies of drugs.
Yeah, hung upside down or something like that.
And I've been to Florida a number of times, probably close to 10 times over the years.
Now,
never seen a gator.
Oh, they got those down there in Florida, too. I was thinking more like Louisiana.
There's a few times where after my surgery, he's like, go for walks. Get used to walking so they get the blood flow going to that area. So late at night, I went walking down the same main drag in downtown Fort Myers, and somebody had referenced there might be a Walmart. So I'm like, well, I don't even know if it's still there, but I'm going to start walking that way. And just 1 a.m, I'm walking 1.5 miles to a Walmart that I'm not sure if it exists in the dark. And there's no lights on the drainage ditches. I'm on the phone with my friend back home who's at work. I'm like, hey, if I disappear for some reason, I want you to know that right now I'm standing at the corner of this and this. And then he Google mapped. He's like, oh, I see where you're at. I'm like, yep. Okay, so is there a Walmart? He's like, yeah, it looks like there is. Yeah, I'm just walking.
You know what? That'd have been my luck if I, hit him like, nope. Well, I will say hi to the Manson family for you.
Right. Well, there was a Perkins, but I had my wallet. But I got that sense of adventure where I'll just go off like a kid, just wander off to see what's out there. Like, I went across the street to the gas station, like 2 blocks down from our hotel. I went to go get a snack that first night we were there. And I walked up and the door was closed. And then I hear this over the intercom. Can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I want food. What you want? I don't know. I was thinking of coming in and seeing what you have. It took me a few minutes to talk this lady into letting me in because robberies in that part of town are so prolific.
Wow.
That they make you pay through a fucking like a metal box, like a magazine or a money pass.
Yeah, okay. Like when they have those clear screens and stuff, whenever you're doing. Like,
yeah, she's got bulletproof glass and she's got like a pass-through tray and shit. And I'm like, here's my ID. Listen to the way I talk. I'm not from around here. You see it? I'm from Minnesota and I'm here on vacation to have surgery. So I'm really hungry right now from flying and not eating shit. And I would really appreciate if I could just have 2 minutes to come inside and look for food. And then I got my food and I started talking to her. Her name was Mary. And Mary's husband had been a sheriff's deputy and a deputy investigator for like 30 years, she said. Really? I stood there for 75 minutes just shooting the shit with this lady. And I love doing that, just meeting people.
It is pretty cool sometimes, especially when you meet the right ones, because there's some that just won't even talk for nothing. They'll sit there and go, hey, how's it going? What do you want? Okay, anyways, don't want to talk. Great.
Yeah, this was a Monday morning.
What time was it?
I got to the gas station, I think at like 1:30ish. Between 1:30 and 2, and then I stayed there talking to her. I didn't get back to the hotel until almost 3:30 by the time I walked back and did a little more exploring around the area.
Wow.
Seeing what we had. I love doing that, just off on my own, seeing what's around. Because how often do I get to go to a place and see new and exciting Targets?
This is true.
And Family Dollars. But I went back another night and talked to her one more time before I left. I'm like, well, my plane's leaving tomorrow, so I figured I'd come say goodbye, Miss Mary. You take care of yourself
think that
now.
was weird?
I don't know. I figured I was just being gentlemanly.
That's kind of like whenever I first moved up here, because down south, whenever we walk past people or we drive past people, one-handed, flip up the finger as waving at somebody when you're driving.
Well, you point up a finger, not flip a finger.
Well, okay, for y'all it'd be that.
Yeah. Sounds like you're saying, hey, I just see people randomly flip the bird and see what happens, huh? Roll the dice.
You ain't never seen the Beverly Hillbillies? Old Granny there goes into California?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a good old California hottie? And she turns around and flips the fellers off. So anyways, and down there, we do that a lot. So when I came up here, I got a chance to go down to cities, and I'm walking past a lot of people. Well, I'll tell you what, I almost had a freaking wrong headache shaking my head so much at people that didn't even recognize me. They probably thought I was retarded. How you doing?
Thought it was like a nervous tick.
Yeah.
They might have thought you were just a homeless guy, and they were just ignoring you.
And I told Kelsey, too. I told her, which was my wife at the time, and I said, wow, I'm glad you don't live in New York, because I'd really be screwed.
So I could probably end up with whiplash.
Oh, yeah. That or...
Be like a bobblehead.
Yep, pretty much. Or what's that? Alzheimer's? Like the shake or whatever?
Dementia.
Is that what it is?
You can get dementia and you get the shakes. My grandpa had that shit. Then he'd sit there in the back seat and he'd just like...
And yeah, that
he's
jaw
whispering
just...
to himself and he's just, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Oh, it reminds me of a story. My brother was down south and this woman was in the pharmacy, was picking up some medication for my mom. I'm in there with him, and he's kind of a funny feller too. Well, this woman's sitting there, and of course she had that same thing, and you hear this, or you see this woman just doing her head up and down. She got that little shake going on. My brother calls me over and goes, Chris, I cannot believe that woman is sitting there talking crap about me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, look, are you talking crap about me? And so she's shaking her head, and I couldn't help but to bust out laughing. Oh my God. I mean, there was only maybe 6 people in there, and I'm sitting here laughing, and she is staring us down with some of the, like, if looks could kill, we'd all be dead.
Just icy daggers right into you.
But I couldn't stop laughing. It was so damn funny.
He set you up for that pretty bad.
Oh, badly. Oh, he's done a couple things like that too at the gas station, where it's either I don't have my ID, or he tries to act like a Fruit Loop type guy. Not the
gay boy.
Yeah, those guys. And embarrassed the living crap out of me. But sometimes he'd take it a little too far. But that one time in that pharmacy when he done that, God almighty, man, just the way he said it and looked at her directly, you talking crap about me? The woman's sitting there shaking her head.
Is your brother older or younger?
He's older. He's 3 years older than me.
So is this like a reoccurring theme of your life? Is he's always setting you up to get laughed at, or he's fucking with you? I mean, I got to imagine older brother's going to mess you there quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. He's done a hell of a lot of that. It kind of simmered down a little bit as he's gotten older. And so it ain't as bad. He's got 3 kids, a wife. Now he's got his kids to do it too if he wants to.
Nice.
So I kind of got lucky and out of the shadow of my brother. Embarrassment.
But there was never one of those like defining movie moments where he got injured in the big football game and you had to go in because you were his backup, and then you broke his record. Nothing Disney-esque.
It would be freaking awesome if that happened.
It's one of those fucking Friday Night Light moments.
Exactly. But with me, it's a legendary little brother is not growing up. Or basically, it's kind of like the whole fight thing. Well, little bro's going to get big one of these days. He's going to take care of me. Yeah, this story doesn't happen like that. It still sticks to where I still get knocked out if I get hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been in a fight in quite some time. Not since I was in like sophomore year of high school. And that was just like some shoving and a couple punches.
Wow, what's sad? I was just thinking about this probably about 6 months ago. I had been in, since I was 16 up until probably 27, 28, 41 fights.
What, do you keep track of this shit? Like you got an old piece of wood that you carve a notch every time you get into a fisticuffs?
Some things you just don't forget, and that's kind of one of my streaks of things I just don't forget.
41 fights.
41 street fights and 3 in the ring.
In the ring?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I trained, I did a little boxing. I trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for almost 2 years.
Down there or up here?
Down there. I did Tough Man twice, and I did 1 extreme fighting.
How'd that go?
It could have went better.
Yeah.
You think you get in there after a little bit of training. Of course, we did more of the workouts and cardio and stuff like that before we got into grappling and arm bars, leg bars, and all that stuff. So I wasn't modified in the Brazilian area. Mm-hmm. But as far as basic skills in fighting stuff and stance and how to maneuver myself, I was pretty good. I thought.
You thought?
And then I won because it was 5 people that I had to go end up fighting to win the top prize of $15,000. I got to the second guy. The first guy, I made him tap out. The second guy almost passed out by just trying to do what I could to get him to tap out or knock out. Well, needless to say, the third guy just made me look like a rag dog.
Is this all in one day?
Yep.
See, that's the kind of...
The whole fight would not have been like that.
Yeah.
It's 3 consecutive days. So
okay.
It would, yeah. It depends on how fast it goes. It's usually, I don't know, probably 2.5 hours maybe of the whole thing. I don't know. I can't remember how much. I know it's, about 2.5 hours.
That's what I'm talking about. If you're going to get into fighting... That's what I really imagine like is almost gladiatorial. It's like you're running a gauntlet of multiple dudes to make your way to the top. This shit like one fight and then you got a mandatory 60 to 90 days medical ban, and then you got to figure out if you're going to fight, so that takes 2 or 3 months.
Oh, you have to go through
then you got your camp running up into the fight. Unless you're Donald Cerrone and then you're just like, yeah, well, I'm not doing anything next week. I'll fight whoever.
Yeah, right. Well, when it's different whenever you're doing Tough Man versus Extreme because it's MMA, mixed martial arts. And so Tough Man, they basically, you do your physicals. They obviously basic questions of medication, stuff like that you're on. Pretty simple stuff takes probably 30 minutes to do. MMA, they do it pretty in depth. I mean, as far as muscle mass and stuff, body weight, they check everything. Blood pressure, past history things that could be a potential liability on yourself or them too.
Make sure you don't get like a heart murmur.
Yeah, squig around, flop around like what do they call it? Crappie flop.
Yeah. Well, for having that many fights, all right, look straight at me. Your nose looks fairly straight for someone that's been in that many fights.
Well, that came from mostly my brother.
From him boxing you right there in the face?
No, we got mad at each other, and I thought I'd be dumb and stand up to him. He trained for, I only did 3 years total training, full professional training. He did over 8.
Yeah?
And he's won a couple, there was an extreme fighting up here one time, and this was one of the big ones. I wasn't here for it. I seen some pics, but he's like really quick with his punches and stuff. And when we got into it, he'd push me and I push him back, and he'd be like, "Okay, big boy, well let's go outside." And of course, there's girls around, so here I am. I ain't gonna back down from here. Let's go. Let's do this. Walk outside. I'm scared shitless in my britches in my mind, but I ain't gonna show him.
Right.
It doesn't matter anyways because I wake up, with him over the top asking me if I'm okay. So, yeah, That's I've had to have this one fixed twice.
Like surgically?
Yep. The third one was bad because I don't know if you can see it. I got a little bit of a scar right here
over your right eyebrow.
Yeah, and this is where we got it was 3 punches. That's all it was. 2 jabs and a right smack in my freaking between my eyes.
I figure if he's that quick, he's got a good snap jab.
He does. That's something I can't seem to get right, but he's got it. And my wife goes, all you hear is this.
Just the 3 quick punches.
Just the pop, pop, pop.
So all those fights you were in and the tough man shit you did and the worst scar you got was just from a tussle with your brother.
Pretty much.
Fantastic.
Not really. No, but you do get your bell rung in the ring, you know, because, you know, like when you get in MMA, you're throwing each other around, and I've had my head just, because I've been picked up and slammed, and I've had my head hit pretty hard on that mat, and oh my gosh, you think you've hit your head before by just running into something? Your eyes do a dance for you for a little while.
I figure I've had roughly 4 or 5 undiagnosed concussions over the years. 2 from slipping on ice, 1 from standing up underneath the racking for the overstock pallets.
Yeah.
This happened at the store I came from before I went to work with you guys. And I was standing up underneath it one time, and the back of my head hit this cross beam fucking hard. I saw a flash. There was a tackle in football once where we were in practice, and the guy decided to take me out at the knees and then go for the ankle roll. So I spun around and smacked the back of my head on the grass. Saw a flash. But I think the worst one was when I was fucking around on the ice at like age 10 on the playground.
Oh, I know that's got to be.
And I slipped forward and smacked my forehead. And just my whole face kind of went numb. And that taste they talk about, that kind of like metallic taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was tasting pennies. It fucking sucked. It sucked so bad. So getting punched by somebody else, I mean, I hit my head on fixed objects. You're talking about you're trying to move and somebody just meets you and you just stop right there.
And there is no give. There is no pad, no nothing. It's like taking a forklift and driving it off a dock.
I have not been punched by a grown man before. The last time I got punched, I couldn't tell you.
I would have to say that you know, I wouldn't recommend trying it if you just was curious.
Right.
Just take a word for it. Don't do it.
I don't really need my brain to go pinging around off the inside of my skull like that.
Negative. Nope.
So how many times do you think, if you were to estimate, how many concussions do you think you've had from stuff like that over the years?
I'm going to be honest with you. I never went to the doctor to check.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You got to kind of self-diagnose. I never went either.
Oh gosh, you know.
41 fights, your brother's ringing your bell, you're practicing and sparring around in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and shit.
Well, the fights that I got in, as soon as I get into one, I'm already thinking, I'm like a chessmate player, you know. I'm already thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead of time of what they could possibly do. And of course, it gets better and better throughout your time. We'll say most of them probably came from in the beginning, not as being experienced. So that was when most of my grappling and just wrestling around and trying to get a punch in, and then you're just off balance. And like I said, you get your bell rung by either falling or hitting some object or whatnot. Probably, see how stupid as I am right now. 15.
15 minor concussions.
And the reason why I say that, I'm pretty sure because I remember quite a few of those were rocks being involved. And I'm not talking about your little pebbles you throw in the river. I'm talking about the one that covers the palm of your hand and takes a little muscle to chuck it.
Who's throwing rocks that size? Jesus Christ.
See that scar?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right there on the crown of your hairline.
Yep. That's one of few.
Yeah, there's a number of them up there. There's at least 5 or 6 I can count. 2 of them look like they intersect.
One was from a boat paddle. One was from a steel bar. And that was from a rock. You know those, I haven't seen very many up here. They're just real jagged rocks. And they're, if you go down south, most of our driveways are the little made-up ones like that. Mm-hmm. And, well, there's a few you'll see off to the side that are pretty big. Well, this kid had no feelings whatsoever. And that was his weapon against me when I wasn't looking.
When you weren't looking.
Well, we would wrestle around. And it's like one of those, you kind of turn around, you go to get up real fast, And you wonder how the crap did he even get that damn thing in his hand
Yeah.
before I was able to do a 2.5-second turnaround. And then whop.
That rang your bell pretty good, huh?
Yeah, basically I thought I was sweating or somebody poured water on me. And then when you do those wipe your face things, you're just sitting there looking at a bunch of red stuff. I mean, it just kept coming out. Then you get the lightheadedness and stuff like that.
I've never bled from my skull that much that I got lightheaded.
Oh,
I was in a car wreck and I got peppered with glass, but only like around my ear and over here a few spots. But those little nicks on your head bleed like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. That's like...
And that thing clearly needed stitches.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one was... That one was the small one, though. That was 4 stitches. The big one was the steel bar.
Yeah.
I got hit with a boat paddle, too. The plastic ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things cut pretty quick.
Did you get into a argument with somebody kayaking or what the fuck?
Actually, no, believe it or not, this was, I was 16.
Yeah.
We went over to a friend of ours we used to do yard work for, and they had this pool, cement swimming pool. So we're swimming. This kid that was there, his grandmother told him to stay in the shallow area, and we're sitting there jumping off the diving board. Well, she failed to tell us that this kid was mentally challenged a little bit. Yay! And didn't know anything about his problems. Well, he was sitting over contemplating while we're having fun on what he was going to do because he couldn't come over where we were jumping and diving and having fun. Mm-hmm. Well, you know when that slope comes up when you dive off the diving board to go into the shallow area?
Yeah.
All right, well, me and Justin, a buddy of mine I used to go over with, and we'd dive out. I don't ever open my eyes, and, well, I hit that with my head right here on the forehead.
Ugh.
I get out, go back over to the mirror and look at it. I was like, oh, that's not so bad. Turn around. Pop! That bonehead turned around and just cold copped me with a paddle. Had a gray handle and a yellow big old flap on it. Hit me and, I was just sitting there kind of moving my head and walked off. Like one of those things you want to just beat the piss out of a little kid. But you can't.
Because he was retarded.
Well, I didn't know that either yet. But this is the funny part. After it's all said and done, got the blood settled, the woman had asked me, "What are you going to take to the doctor?" I'm like, "No. Is there anything I can do for you?" I said, "Absolutely. What is it?" "Give that little kid over an old-fashioned ass whooping." That's all I said.
Yeah.
Of course, that other girl, started busting out laughing. I wasn't laughing. It wasn't funny to me. I was serious.
Right.
I've tried everything. He's got problems. He was locked in a closet when he was younger.
Starting to sound like a fucking feral cat, not like a kid.
We need to go.
Shit.
Yeah, but that was what that came from in the steel bar. Oh, yeah. Now, when you said you saw a flash in yours, your eye?
That kind of yellow. You see that flash in front of your eyes?
Well, I seen a black dot in my right eye when I got hit by that one.
Oh.
This was with my stepdad. This was interesting. He was having some problems that day. We had a little family gathering with fighting. It was fun. Good day. Yeah, loved it. First encounter, they said some words. I kind of got upset, hit the door, went out the garage. Mm-hmm. Well, lovely stepdad comes out there and says some family-loving words to me. And those tractor trailers that have the freight lock bars that holds the freight in, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he happened to have one of those sitting on his workbench.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just random. And I kind of didn't pay no attention to it. I didn't think I was going to actually grab it. And he was running his mouth, and I was like, "Why don't you go get your billy stick or whatever it is that you think you need, and we'll go a round or two, Mr. Earl Watt." And, well, he was probably 8 feet away from me. Mm-hmm. Those are, 6 foot?
Yeah,
7 foot?
probably.
Roughly? Well, he grabbed a hold of it. Yeah, he got his bar all right. And he turned around and pop hit me in the stomach, and it came up, hit me in the chin. This is when my mom came out. I had my class ring on. I remember this part very well. And I had to reach over her to hit him 3 times. All right. The hour passed. I'm in the bedroom sitting down there contemplating, should I go apologize? He comes in there, and he had this, it was a 2-ton jack handle. The one that has that little bitty knob that you turn and locks it in. I hear her screaming, "He's got a bar." I'm like, "Oh, crap." So he comes in the bedroom and he goes, "Oh, you want to be a hero, huh?" What the hell does he get a hero from? So I stood up on the bed because I figured the only chance I had to defend myself is to use my legs, longest limbs. Mom's wrestling around. I want to step off the bed. No, I mean, a split second just to look down to see my feet, and then look up to see the bar already hit my head. And when it hit, blood went on the wall there. And on the side.
Shit.
So we're basically in the corner. And somehow when I came down, because I saw that black dot in my eye, and that's when I just grabbed a hold of him. And me and him pushed the door shut and pushed my mom and my girlfriend out the door. He went down on the floor, and all I could think about was UFC. So I started elbowing him. Right in the face. Right in the face.
How'd he end up looking after that? Did you split him open a few times?
Yeah,
We're talking downward elbows.
Well, you ever see those pictures people draw and you got these scars here, and stitch marks?
Uh-huh.
That's what it looked like. He had 4 of them.
Shit.
He had 2 here, 1 up here, and I think it was across his jaw on the bottom side when that happened. But I ended up with 9 staples in my head from that
9
gun.
staples in your head.
Mm-hmm. You want to know how great Savannah hospitals are? That follows with this story?
Did they give you like a shot of whiskey beforehand?
No, but that would have been a hell of a lot better.
What'd they do?
Oh, well, let's say we go in there and she's got to give me a numb shot in my head. And it stung, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, God, stop, it hurts. Well, she comes back and follows with this nice, wonderful sentence of, is it pain or does it hurt? But you know how people do double takes? I did triple of whatever I did. I don't even know. I'm like, what does that even mean? I wanted
Is
to
it
ask
pain
her,
or does it hurt?
Yeah, I'm swear to God, I'm not kidding you. This is exactly what she said. Is it pain or does it hurt?
Is it water or is it wet?
Exactly.
Fuck.
And, oh my God, I just wanted to say to her, what part stupid are you? But obviously, I just didn't.
Right, because she was getting ready to help work on you. You don't want to piss her off.
Well, I couldn't think about my pain, so she actually did a pretty good job.
Well, I'm glad we've talked about all the head trauma you've suffered, because we've reached the point in the show when it's time to play a game.
Ooh.
I play a game. It's called Word Orgy. You may know it from Wheel of Fortune called Before and After.
Ah.
I'll read 2 clues, and the answers to both intersect in the middle with one word. And the tips I will say is if you figure out one, it might lead you to the other. But I went to some lengths this morning to come up with some either country influenced, southern influenced, but mostly Tennessee influenced ones for you.
Okay.
Because obviously if you're not used to playing this game, you're going to need some softballs.
Oh, man.
So, without further ado...
Orgy.
2 unrelated items that make up one new phrase. And if you get the answer, I'll heap on you my praise. Some of them may seem too hard, but I won't let you quit. So pay very close attention to both my descriptions. Pop culture icons and other random shit. It's time to play Word Orgy. How many will you get? Number 1. A chocolatey, crispy type of candy bar and a famous country music theater.
And this has to be a first and last name?
Well, no, I mean, think of one and then the other. So the first would be a chocolatey, crispy type of candy bar. So that would end with a word that starts the second answer. A famous country music theater.
Oh, a theater. Well,
Those are the only clues I can give you.
100 grand?
Okay, so you're halfway there.
Grand Ole Opry?
So put them together.
Chocolate Grand Ole Opry? Or 100 Grand Ole Opry?
And he's on the board. All right. So you comfortable with how this works out now?
Took a second, yeah.
Okay. Number 2. A red-headed stranger and a former South African president.
And with country music.
A red-headed stranger and a former South African president.
Well, we got that one, the second part. That's is it Obama, Biden?
South African president.
Oh, South Africa. I can't remember his name.
I figured you'd get the first part of a red-headed stranger.
When you say it, I think of Reba. I'm having a brain fart here, man.
All right, so you're tapping on this one?
All right, yeah.
That would be Willie Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
Willie Nelson, the red-headed stranger. He had a song called The Stranger.
I've only heard that song one time.
I threw some pop culture in here, too.
I'm sorry.
So for this next one, don't apologize to me. We're playing a game.
I'm saying I'm sorry, fellow Southern boys.
Number 3, a movie about a red sweatshirt wearing marsupial and the creator of a world-famous whiskey.
Ooh. Creator of a world-famous whiskey. Oh, Jack Daniels.
So you're halfway there. The first part is a movie about a red sweatshirt wearing marsupial.
For all those listening, or will be, what is a marsupial?
It's a type of animal that is not indigenous to this part of the world. All you got to know is that the answer to the first part ends with the same word that starts the second one.
Oh.
And it's a movie. A movie about a red sweatshirt wearing marsupial and the creator of a world-famous whiskey.
And you said the second one is the beginning of the...
They meet in the middle. So what ends the first answer starts the second answer. And you came up with the Jack Daniels part, but you got to get the other part.
I know I'm going to hate myself if you tell me this. Because I probably know it. I can't think. And it's a movie. I don't like giving up on these. How much time do we got?
I don't have a timer.
Sweet. Well, let me think.
I edit out a lot of the long pauses. That's why we don't do this live.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels was and a red sweater wearing marsupials. And you said that marsupials was an animal not of this world?
Different part of the world.
Different part of the world, okay.
I'm going to have to call time on this one.
Yeah, I was going to after you said that.
It's Kangaroo Jack Daniels. Kangaroo Jack was a fucking...
I know
obviously
exactly
marsupial.
You know what? I need to go to the zoo and find one and have them kick me right in the balls right now.
I wouldn't recommend that.
No, because they're pretty good boxers and well-known kickers.
Yeah. Well, only 7 more to go.
You ever seen one of those fight on YouTube?
I saw a guy punch one that was squaring up on him and he just decked the motherfucker.
I've seen that one, but I've seen two kangaroos get into it.
Kicking match and shit.
And he actually one of them gets the other one in a headlock and actually makes him pass out. Look it up. It's on YouTube.
Jesus Christ. Number 4.
Let's do it.
A famous Tennessee frontiersman and a duo of detectives from Miami.
Miami Vice?
That's where they're from. I'll never use something in the clue.
Oh, okay. So
that's in the answer. So a famous Tennessee frontiersman and a duo of detectives from Miami.
What was the first one again?
A famous Tennessee frontiersman.
Okay. What do they do?
What do you mean, what do they do?
What do the frontiers do?
Don't you remember from school?
Not really.
No. I can't give you any more clues on these.
Well, hey, man, you got to understand. Okay, well, I grew up from...
This is somebody whose name is like regular conversation piece. You hear the name.
Daniel Boone?
That is not it.
He's okay.
You're in the wheelhouse.
I'm going to get one of them. I'm going to pass on this one. I can't.
That would be Davy Crockett and Tubbs.
Oh, that's right, because he wore that darn...
coonskin cap.
Coonskin cap, because they made that... Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, Davy Crockett. What was the movie?
That was Miami Vice, Crockett and Tubbs.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, Davy Crockett and Tubbs. That was from the TV show, and then they made a movie about it.
I know it.
That was terrible.
Oh.
Number 5. A well-known Macedonian king and a large range of hills on the Tennessee border.
Appalachian Mountains. Oh, hill. I'm thinking of mountains. A large range of hills on the East Tennessee border.
I just said on the Tennessee border.
Oh, Tennessee border.
I didn't go on a full-scale statewide geography hunt to figure out.
Well, I didn't know if you'd be like Lookout Mountain or something like Chattanooga or over there with the Appalachian Mountains.
The first half is a well-known Macedonian king.
Why you gotta use all this big stuff? Macedonian Kings. I don't even know what that is.
Because I figured he didn't know hockey as well as me, but it's also the nickname of the greatest player on the Washington Capitals roster.
You know, I didn't know we even had a hockey team until I came up here.
You didn't know that you guys did back home?
Mm-mm. And the Predators?
Yeah.
Never knew it.
Huh. Yeah, they got pretty far last season.
Yeah.
Would have been the year to pay attention to them.
I have no idea.
That would be Alexander the Great Smoky Mountains. Number 6.
I did listen sometime in school.
A bank-robbing bootlegger and the love interest of Zach Morris.
Please don't tell me it has anything to do with I Love You, Philip Morris.
No.
All right.
No, Zach Morris.
Read that one more time. I was thinking something else. Okay.
A bank-robbing bootlegger and the love interest of Zach Morris.
Bootlegger.
I couldn't put famous in all of them, but this is a famous bank-robbing bootlegger.
Oh, well, if you'd have put a woman in it, I would think Bonnie and Clyde, but you said it's just him.
So I'm going to guess no on this one. You don't got this one?
Well, I'm a smart guy, huh? Yeah, let's see what that one is.
Be Machine Gun Kelly Kapowski. Machine Gun Kelly was from Tennessee, and Kelly Kapowski was the cheerleading brunette played by Tiffany Amber Thiessen on Saved by the Bell.
Is insane. How did you find that?
I just made that shit up. I just come up with one, and then I find a word to match it.
Oh, that's pretty simple.
Over 350 of these I've made now.
And I'm overthinking them.
Number 7. A tool that opens multiple locks and a black comedy duo.
A tool that opens... What? Oh, multiple locks.
Multiple locks and a black comedy duo.
Well, it'd be Jimmy?
No.
Am I close?
No.
I can be like it opens multiple locks. Not specifically.
Right. So no on this one?
I didn't say that. I want to try to get that second one. I know I gotta know that. All right, shoot.
It would be Skeleton Key and Peel. Skeleton Key will open up all kinds of different doors.
I should have known that.
For like lock bumping and shit. And Key and Peel.
That's not right. That's back in the day. What was the other one? Who? Who?
Key and Peel.
Never heard of those guys.
They're like the preeminent black comedy show that was on Comedy Central years after Chappelle's show went off the air. These guys did the movie about that cat. What the fuck was the movie about that little kitten? That little gangster kitten.
Keanu.
I don't remember his name. I saw it. It was funny. It might come to me.
The movie is called Keanu.
Number 8. A food item Adam and Eve were told not to eat, and a colorful brand of cereal.
Apple Jacks.
No.
Or Fruit Loops or whatever.
You're halfway there.
Fruit Loops?
You're halfway there.
Or apple.
A food item Adam and Eve were told not to eat.
Well, that'd be the apple.
And a colorful brand of cereal. I already told you, you got that half. You got the Fruit Loops part.
Oh, what about the apple?
Well, it ain't apple.
Told him not to eat?
Yeah.
That was the apple off the tree of knowledge.
You're overthinking this one.
Okay. I haven't even... A fruit... okay, let's just go.
I said a food item.
We'll just... Oh, you didn't. Okay.
You just got to think of a phrase that ends with that middle word there, and then it's Fruit Loops.
I can't even think of it.
So no on that one?
Yeah.
That would be Forbidden Fruit Loops. Forbidden fruit.
Forbidden fruit. Okay.
From the Tree of Knowledge.
Now, when you say that, you said...
A food item they were told not to eat.
The forbidden fruit.
No,
Okay.
You were getting very specific.
Food item.
As soon as you got Fruit Loops, I'm like, he's got the word fruit. Come on.
Food item. I didn't think about item instead of just the name of the fruit.
Okay, these last two should be softballs. Number 9. A city that's home to Graceland and your home state football team.
What was home to Graceland? Oh, the city?
A city that's home to Graceland and your home state football team.
Yeah, Memphis.
So if you're going to Graceland, you tell people it's in...
Memphis.
And then if you were to go further with that, you'd say it's in...
Tennessee.
Uh-huh. And now the football team's name is?
Is it college or profession?
I can accept either, but...
Oh, well, it could be... So it's not... So okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. So
I have down a specific one, but looking at it, it could go one of two ways. But I did say home state football team.
Memphis, Tennessee, and Titans?
Yes, there we go.
That's all I'm going to think of, because remember the Titans.
All right, number 10's the last one.
I got 2 so far.
You got 2.
2 out of 10's possible.
It's a score other people have gotten. When your name will officially go on the wall of points on the points board.
Well, I would like for mine to say potential failure.
Number 10. An orange-clad college team and a faith-based non-profit organization.
Volunteer.
So, an orange-clad college team. I can't imagine there's that many of them.
I was just thinking of Volunteers, Tennessee college team, right?
I'm not allowed to give you any more clues, so if that's what you think, I would go with that.
Volunteer. Okay, and a non-profit organization.
Faith-based non-profit organization. You've gotten the first half.
I realize that. Volunteer.
Well, but you have to, the whole thing of that.
The name is not wanting to pop out of my mouth. Oh, it's volunteer. All right, give it to me.
Tennessee Volunteers of America.
I hate you. I really hate you. Yeah, that's that one song. I love you so much, I hate you.
See, and then I write your name. I write 298, and then I put 2 out of 10, and then I put it over here with the rest of them because I saved them. Where are they? They're over there. So here's where I wrap it up. I'm glad that it was good to see you, and I'm glad you came out. So this is how I end the show. I'm always interact with the show on Twitter at Blumpkin Show. That is at Blumpkin Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Blumpkin and Friends. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
And I am 298.
Good night.